to our new segment, Two Bros in a Truck. No.
Hey, dude.
Hey, bro. How's it going, bro?
Good.
It's bro. It's like
I don't think we
BRUH,
could
bro,
do that.
Bro.
I like this hat, but I don't know if we can do the bro thing.
Do you like the bro hat?
Yes.
Anyway, guys, welcome to today's live show. And today in the TFL garage, we have the truck that you all say you want.
Yes, heck yeah.
What do we have, Andre?
Well, it's a 2025 Ram 1500 work truck. Ram calls it the Tradesman. And this is kind of a unique build. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and if you're wondering, are we going to jump it? Are we going to durability test it? Are we going to...
A little bit.
Are we going to, go and take it up a mountain? No, this is TFL Talk. So in this episode, we're going to walk around the truck. We're going to show you what makes it special. And we're going to show you what it's missing, because it's missing.
Yeah, it's missing one big thing. I mean, it's a pretty amazing truck for what it is, but it's missing one crucial thing.
And we're going to tell you at the end of this live show how much it costs, because work trucks seem to have gotten expensive, Andre, like everything else.
Yes.
And you just spent 1,000 miles road tripping this. Andre flew all the way to Detroit, picked it up and drove it back across country. And if you want to see that video, head on over to where, Andre?
oldtfl.com.
It's right up there. All right, so let's start with, as we always start, with the design of the truck. It's white.
And black.
And black. It's not exactly eye-popping. This is the kind of truck that, you would drive if you were a plumber, or if you were a landscaper, or if you needed a basic work truck to do work truck things.
Exactly, and I think they're also white. Well, first of all, it may be simpler for the manufacturer to paint it this color, but also you could put your logos on it, right?
Yeah,
you
sure.
could put whatever business logo you want on something like this. And here's our first comment. Nobody wants an expensive work truck. We'll get there in a second, right?
Yeah, well then you should get the, what's the Classic? They're still making
the Classic is going away in a few months.
But you could still get it
So
now.
you can still get it. Also, if you want a work truck, you can get a Classic Stubby that TFL used to own, which is a two-door regular cab, longish bed or short bed also, whatever you want. You can get that for about $40,000.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but this is going to be more expensive. Now, this is a Ram because it says so, Andre, Ram, right? There's no mistake in it. This for an F-150 or a Silverado. And this has become the newest thing now, not just in truck architecture and design, but also in car. Everybody's putting a huge name of what the vehicle is, right? You see that with Toyotas, with the Classic logo coming back, and now Ram has kind of leaned into that. I kind of like it. Why not? If you're proud of your Ram, show it off to the world. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. I also like the black bumper, but you could see it's missing a fog lamp, for example. So you could see it's missing a few things. I'm not a huge fan of chrome, but I think this kind of works here.
Yeah, but then you're missing a few things, but then you've got like the little sensors right here, right there.
Parking sensors,
yeah,
and you have a radar system in the very middle for your adaptive cruise.
Which seems odd for a work truck.
It does seem odd,
yeah.
But it helped me on my 1,000 mile plus road trip. It helped me out.
And here's the thing, guys. And we've talked about this before, but I think it's important. Us, you and me, we are not the ultimate consumers, buyers of this truck. It's the dealer. So the dealers are actually the customers for the manufacturers. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. So the dealer orders the truck, and then they sell it to us. And the problem, if you're trying to save money, is a dealer really doesn't make a lot of money on basic work trucks, right? So then they got to add things like adaptive cruise control, parking sensors, because that is where they make their money. And so you end up with a work truck with a lot of kind of unwork truck things.
But it becomes a multi-use tool at that point. This has also a huge cab. You can put your family and friends in here. You could take it on a road trip. It does have four-wheel drive, and we'll go over some of that stuff.
And here's the thing, remember when we bought Stubby?
Yes.
Four-wheel drive was a $7,500 option.
It was expensive.
It was expensive. So it was more expensive than switching from the Pentastar to the Hemi. So back in the day, if you wanted to go from a Pentastar to the Hemi, it was $2,500. If you wanted to add four-wheel drive, it was like $7,500. Speaking of Hemis, is there a Hemi under the hood, Andre?
No.
No, bummer.
And also you could see it here. It's kind of dark here, so it's not super visible, but SST means straight six turbo.
Yeah, so now we've got the so-called Hurricane under the hood, which of course is the way that everything's going. So the industry is basically going from 8-cylinder naturally aspirated vehicles to 6-cylinder turbos, or if they have 6-cylinder naturally aspirated engines, they're going to 4-cylinder turbos. Tacoma would be a good example of that.
Yeah, there's a question or comment from Jonathan B. and several others like Julie and Matthew and Scooby, who are saying, how does this compare to the competition? And we'll get to that also. But if you think, Ram has these features and at this higher price, everybody's doing very similar things. I mean, Ram used to be, in my view, like several years ago, they used to be the value proposition.
Yes.
But now it seems like they're all getting more expensive. It's not just Ram.
I would go further than that. I would say Ram is now the most expensive for some reason. Since it became Stellantis from FCA, they have decided that they're not going to get in the game of discounting, putting money on the hood. And right now, Silverados and F-150s, are stacking up at dealerships, and there are discounts to be had. But Ram seems to be sticking to their MSRP, which is weird because usually that means that they're not going to be selling a lot of trucks, which is also what's happening, right? We've seen a real steep decline on the part of Stellantis, Ram, Jeep, all the brands in terms of their sales.
Yes, and so this engine is $2,700. So the Pentastar V6 is still there. In order to upgrade to this 3-liter twin turbo, you have to pay about $2,700, which this has.
So it's very similar to what the Hemi was.
Yeah, it is. And this is 420 horsepower and 469 pound-feet of torque, which is way more than the Hemi had. Well, significantly more.
Andre, if people don't want to watch your 1,000-mile road trip video, which was basically a fuel economy test, how does this do fuel economy-wise? Let's skip to the chase.
Yeah, I would say it's about the same as a V8.
Really?
Yeah, I got just under 22 mpg on my cross-country journey, which was like 21.7 mpg. And it's a little bit of a bummer, but you have to remember this truck is set up for towing. It's got a very aggressive 392-to-1 rear axle ratio. It's got towing mirrors. So this is not your efficiency model. If you wanted an efficiency model, they also have something called the HFE, high efficiency, high fuel economy Ram 1500, which has a different rear axle, has different equipment, and you can get maybe up to even 26 mpg, but this is not it.
So you're back to that EcoBoost problem, right? Where you can have eco, in other words, economy, or boost, power. So you're getting more power, but you're not getting more fuel economy.
Not in the real world, at least with this setup. But this will tow over 11,000 pounds. I mean, this is set up to tow really heavy trailers.
And we just took it up, what we're calling the TFL Toaster. It's our new tough torture test. And as you know, if you've been watching us, we've had a lot of heat here in Colorado, fires. And so we try to pick the hottest day of the week and take it up a very steep grade. And something interesting happened, but I'm not going to tell you because I want you to watch that video. But I'll tell you something. When we first took the Silverado up there, it failed. When we took the F-150, it failed. And guess what this did? It failed.
We'll keep you in suspense.
Yeah, but it failed in a very unique way.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the wheels. I mean, we're looking at Steelies.
Yeah, the proper wheel.
Proper wheels, pretty small tires, nothing, off-roady at all. This is where the cost cutting comes in. And I actually like Steelies. I'm a big fan of Steelies. I prefer them white, but this is fine.
Yeah, and the only thing this truck doesn't really have, I mean, it does have four-wheel drive, but it doesn't have like a lift or aggressive tires, right? So that's how this truck is a little bit more work-oriented. So
is this powered, or is this
no?
It's manual?
So this is cool. So this is a new mirror.
Yeah, it's very big.
It has a couple of shortcomings. So it has some amazing features, because if you walk this way with me, it has powered both the upper glass and the lower glass on both sides is powered. Also heated, also has blind side monitoring system. That's the great thing. Also a new way to control them. Let me show you.
I'm bringing the light over for you, Andre, so we can light it up for him.
Also a new way to control it. I love this. You have automatic up-down feature here on the front windows. And you could get even more features. This doesn't have everything, but you can control lower glass as well, which is amazing. This does have a manual fold. and manual extend features. That's okay. But I found out driving this in the city, when it's not extended, especially on the passenger side, look through there, it creates kind of a big A-pillar blind spot.
I mean, it's a big mirror.
You see that? So the A-pillar is there and the mirror is there.
Yeah.
And when you're driving...
This is the A-pillar, guys, right here. A-pillar,
Yeah.
B-pillar, C-pillar.
The A-pillar. So on the passenger side, in certain situations, you have a blind spot there. So that's not a great thing when moving forward. Moving backwards, it's really great.
Like, you know what's a great thing? And I love this. This is a 6-passenger vehicle. I mean, show 'em,
Heck
Cole,
yeah.
which is nice. And it's actually, 6-passenger, or if you don't want to have 6, you've got this middle seat right here. You just pull this, and then it pops down, and then you have a really nice center console.
Yeah, I love that. And also, dude, after 1,200 miles from Detroit to Denver.
Yeah, were the seats comfy?
Yeah. My back, I didn't have any back pain or anything like that. Very comfortable interior, even though it's cloth seats.
I noticed that from the last generation, there's a new screen. Tell me about that. It looks much bigger.
So, if you remember Stubby,
Yeah.
it had a little postage stamp for a screen.
Yes.
Now, all work trucks, tradesmen and above, they get at least 8.1, which is what this is. So they increased the screen size. So it's a little bit of a refresh. But if you look at the gauges, the main gauges are traditional. And actually, why change them if they work, right?
Yeah, I'm really getting tired of everything being in the screen. And it's nice that the HVAC controls are actually separate.
Physical,
And it doesn't have, or does it? Is that a plastic steering wheel? It does have a plastic steering wheel.
Yeah, it's plastic.
It's kind of plastic with kind of fake leather on the sides. It's not bad. Of course, you don't get electrically actuated seats.
Manual.
We don't have the vinyl floors on this one, but I suppose you could get it, can't you?
Yeah, and that's why, sorry for my dust there, I apologize. You could get it with vinyl too.
You could?
But this is
Now there's something special hiding underneath here. So huge cab. I mean, look at the size of this cab. You want to jump in there and show them how much room you have in the back seat? It's massive.
I was gonna camp out of this truck because it's so humongous.
Yeah, now that is a lot of room, dude.
I'm sitting behind myself. I mean, this is insane, insanely big.
Yeah, and then show them what's hiding under the seat.
I love that Ram still does this. It's got little cubbies,
Yeah.
which are kind of removable and drainable. So you can have, a couple of drinks in there or some tools
So
hiding.
I'll tell you a funny story. So, I kind of feel like everybody is now doing truck reviews because trucks are the kind of the it vehicle. And I was watching Tucker Carlson do a review of the Cybertruck. Yeah, Tucker Carlson's doing a review of the Cybertruck. Yeah. And the guy I guess he found some dude in Maine who the truck belonged to. And the first thing that the guy does, because let's face it, this is more of a political statement than a review of a Cybertruck, right? The first thing that the guy does is show off his 2 guns that he keeps in his truck.
Okay.
That would be a good place for a gun.
A handgun, yeah.
Yeah. That'd be because I don't think most people know,
That's
when
there.
I say people, you know what I'm talking about, that there is a cubby hole there. So that would be a good place if you do carry guns to place it, even though you couldn't get at it from the front seat. But, it seems like something that most people wouldn't know that's there.
And also, Roman, look at this rear seat here one more time. Look, I'm using one hand, right? Let's say I'm carrying something, right? I have a tool bag or something, and a one-hand operation. Some other manufacturers require you to pull latches or something else. Ram does it very simply. I love that.
You know how Honda has the magic seat in the back where you could put a bicycle in there?
Uh-huh.
You could put a whole bicycle team worth of bicycles back here. You could literally probably put 2 bikes, maybe 3 bikes back there.
Oh, wait, I found a coin.
Thank you. What kind is it?
I don't know.
What is that? Yeah, let me see. Yeah, let's show it to him. What coin is this? This is one. What the hell is this? This is crazy. Here, I'll show it to you guys.
Is this Canadian?
I don't. Is that looks? Well, Queen Elizabeth is on there, so it might be Canadian.
Okay.
Let us know in the comments below. It definitely is Queen Elizabeth. So it's either Canadian or I'm not that familiar. Oh, it's £1. So there's a British pound.
Wait, what?
Yeah, is that crazy?
I don't carry British pounds.
It says £1. Yeah. So why is that in the truck? And with the exchange rate, that's worth more than $1.
It came from Michigan. So this truck came from Michigan, so I'm not sure.
Well, thank you, Ram. If you want your pound back, we have it right here. We're not, you know.
I'm going to do a segue.
Yeah.
Talking about pounds, Roman.
Yeah.
Let's look at the payload.
Let's look at the payload.
You love that?
Here, I'm going to put the pound in the cup holder. It goes with the truck.
People are saying definitely an English pound.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. That's the weirdest thing I think I found in a truck. And we found some weird stuff in trucks.
What is it? Almost 1,700 pounds, right?
Whoa, that's a lot of payload.
For a truck.
Yeah.
By the way, this is extended wheelbase. It's got a longer bed, 6 foot 4-inch bed, humongous bed. It's 4-wheel drive, and it's also almost 1,700 pounds of payload, and that's the good stuff.
I mean, I guess if you don't fill it up with heated seats and cooled seats and a giant sunroof, that all goes to payload.
Yes. So in the back here, Roman, we still have our weight-safe, weight distribution, middleweight hitch. It has this attachment where you can put the weight distribution bars, and they also work for trailer sway control. So this is really great. You can adjust this. This is adjustable. And on this side, if you walk around on this side,
Come over here, Cole. There you go.
You could see the gauge.
Yeah.
So you could see exactly, you really want to dial in about 10% of the trailer weight as your tongue load, and this hitch is also height adjustable. I have it here.
If the weight, let's just talk that through so people understand.
Yeah.
So you want 10% to eliminate or mitigate sway. You want 10% of the trailer's weight to be on the hitch.
Yes.
And so if you have a 10,000 pound whatever you're towing, then you want 1,000 pounds on the hitch, and this is an easy way for you to see.
Yeah, this gauge will show you exactly what that is.
And then we have a traditional tailgate, nothing fancy, not barn door, not opening up 14 different ways. And what you got over here, Andre? What's hiding over here?
Well, this is, WaySafe is more than just hitches, right?
Yeah.
They have many different accessories, including, so the big thing about WaySafe is not just being safe for towing, but also lightweight.
Yeah, because
So
they're aluminum.
a lot of their components are aluminum. For example, this hook is aluminum.
And guys, I know you're thinking this is a commercial for WaySafe, which it is, but I got to tell you, YouTube revenue is down for everybody, and so it's sponsors like this that allow us to go to Detroit, fly Andre to Detroit, pick up a truck, drive it all the way across country, put it,
Because it's not free.
It's not free. Put a very heavy load on it. Get videographers like Cole, who's behind the camera, to then put together and edit the video. And so that's why we're happy to be working with companies like WaySafe, because it allows us to do more than just simple walkarounds, which we're doing right now. But like I said, Andre just drove this thing for 1,000 miles across
And you
country.
and I just torture tested this truck.
We just
too.
torture tested it on the TFL toaster. You like that TFL
Yes.
toaster? That's our new branding for it. You'll see it soon.
So there's one thing missing while we're still here.
Okay, we got a bed liner. Let me think about it.
Bedliner is not missing.
All right, so let me look. Let me see if I can figure it out. So bed liner is here. You've got
Tie downs are good.
you got tie down points, which is good. You've got lights,
Yeah, sure.
but I don't see something that's usually right there. I don't see any power.
Nope, no power.
No power.
So even if you search the cab,
Yeah.
there is of course USB-C, there's USB ports, but there's no 110 volt port. Not in the bed, not inside. And I think that's a huge omission for a work truck.
It's a miss, right? Because if you're trying to charge up your tools,
Well, how about the laptop? We were traveling cross country. I really wanted to charge
right
up
in the
my.
bed?
I really wanted to charge up my laptop. I couldn't do it.
Wait, hold on. Your laptop, you were going to ride in the bed. I mean, there's power inside, right?
USB-C only.
Oh, USB. So there's no power inside as well.
There's no outlet.
My bad. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Sorry, bro.
So, you know what I'm talking about, bro?
I know what you're talking about, bro. I get it, bro. Hey, I got a question. With these bra hats, do you wear the ears on the outside like Andre's doing, or do you put them on the inside? Now, I kind of feel like I'm not sure which is the correct etiquette to wearing a bra hat. All right, let's answer some questions.
So-
Another nice thing is you do have, I take it that's power.
Pass through window in the
And
back.
power, right?
Yeah.
That's nice.
And you have a reverse camera, obviously you have to,
Yeah.
but this doesn't have a surround view camera. That's what's missing. But everybody in the comments already have guessed the price because Tommy did a little short, little video about this, which
Also,
is
tell them what it is,
$57,000.
which is the exact same amount that we paid for a Ranger Raptor. And I can't
Which
help
is-
but think that for $57,000, I would prefer to have a Ranger Raptor than a work truck. I know it doesn't tow as much, but the Ranger Raptor does so much more. Plus, it's got all the off-road bits, and it's got a really nice interior.
It depends.
It's a tough number. It's a tough number, Andre.
It depends. Like this truck wheelbase is so long, it would not be a great off-roader, right? The breakover angle.
It would be a good truck if you need to haul a lot of crap.
Yeah, but a Ranger Raptor can only tow 5,500 pounds. This can tow twice as that amount.
Sure.
So if you are working or towing big campers, I mean, this is the way to go.
I mean, it's a true apples to oranges comparison. I
yeah,
know, but
they are the same price.
But I can't help but make it in my head.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. So people are telling me to buy an AC inverter and plug it into 12 volt. Okay, I can do that.
Another dongle you have to deal with.
But other vehicles, other manufacturers provide built-in inverters for me. So that's why I was having an issue with that.
Well, you want to talk about the competition now that we've kind of walked our way around the truck. So of course, Ford does a work truck. It's the XL.
XL work truck?
Yeah. So it's the basic, right? It's XL.
Yeah.
Is the bottom.
And Chevy does the WT, which is work truck.
Yeah.
Yes. GMC has their version of it as well. Toyota Tundra has the SR.
Yeah.
SR is their base work truck.
And Nissan doesn't have it.
Nissan Titan is gone.
Yeah.
Really quickly, there's a question here from William. When will the Rebel X Special Edition and the RHO Ram start production and deliveries? I don't have an exact date yet. And also, there hasn't been an event for an RHO yet. So I'm guessing fall.
And if
if
you're wondering what RHO stands for, it's kind of the next version of the TRX, and people are guessing because I don't think they've officially said that RHO stands for really high output, but that's kind of what we're guessing it stands for. But it won't be as much as a TRX. I mean, the word on the street is we're not going to be at 700 plus horsepower anymore for the RHO, which is a shame, but maybe they'll do another version.
A lot of people say that laptops use USB-C to charge, which is true. But I tried to charge my laptop, and my laptop said not enough
juice.
Yeah,
not enough power, yeah.
So even though I tried that cable, it refused to charge. I don't have all the configurators in front of me, but people ask for about pricing. Like I said, most of these half-ton trucks, F-150 XL and Chevy, actually Chevy is becoming the value leader here. You know, if you look at Ford, Ram, and GM. Chevrolet, I appreciate that. Chevrolet is becoming kind of the value player in this space, but Ford and Ram pricing, has increased significantly.
Now we work with Johnson's Auto Plaza in Brighton when we buy our vehicles, and the one thing I've always noticed is they have hundreds of trucks on the lot, but most of those are fleet sales. So I suspect this would be the kind of truck that would be sold to fleets.
Yeah. But like we said, this has adaptive cruise. This has some unique features that may not be on every work truck, right?
So how cheap could you get this, you think? If you got rid of some of the bells and whistles?
I think towards 50.
You could get it at 50, but that's still so. But when we try to get the cheapest work truck with stubby. So we got the short cab, right, long bed, and. Even back then, I think we paid $38,000 all in for Stubby, if I remember right.
Yes.
So this is basically $20,000 more expensive. But Stubby had the Pentastar. It also had four-wheel drive.
And it couldn't tow very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then here in places like Colorado, and I think even in places like Texas, the reason that four-wheel drive is so expensive is because it's so much in demand. People really want trucks with four-wheel drive. Once upon a time, I think rear-wheel drive trucks were fine. And you had people who used them on an everyday basis, but once you have four-wheel drive, especially in Colorado or anywhere that's sandy like Texas, it's hard to go back.
You know what? This longer bed, dude.
Yeah.
This is almost $3,000.
$3,000 for the longer bed.
Yeah. So if you got a shorter one, which would be a 5.7,
yeah,
which is about a foot shorter.
Yeah.
You save $3,000.
Wow.
So you have to decide for yourself, like, do you need the longer bed for your tools or stuff you're working on, or you can save significant amount of money by getting a shorter bed.
It's always a compromise between utility and comfort and price.
Yes.
And when let's say you're buying this, right? one of the reasons this is so expensive is because a lot of people finance this, and it's very easy to roll the bigger bed into the financing, because then people don't buy it based on the sticker, they buy it based on their monthly payment. And when you increase the monthly payment by $20 to get, I don't know, what does this have that dual climate zones, right? Which I don't think this has. It doesn't, but let's say you increase it by $20 to get heated seats, then that makes sense, because I would pay $20 extra a month to have heated seats. And that's why these trucks get more and more expensive.
Yeah, and you have to be careful. Please don't let the dealership hide pricing in a monthly payment, right? Because it's really easy, like you said, to pay $20 extra a month, but it may not make sense. We have a super chat donation. Thank you. Thank you for Taker 610. His question is the new, North American Auto Show, the Detroit Auto Show, is it still happening next month? And when will the Rev debut?
We don't know. That keeps getting pushed off.
The Rev, they said by the end of this year, by December. We still don't have an event for it, so we still don't know. Detroit will be January. They moved Detroit Auto Show to January like it was always in January.
So it was in January forever, which we hated, because you go to Detroit and it's really not fun because it's freezing cold and it's hard to walk around.
It's also the first week of January.
Yeah, and then now you're butting up against CES as well as.
And then during COVID, they moved it to the summer.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like that either. I mean, I don't know. And then it's back to January.
The other vehicle that's been pushed off, we know for sure, is the 4Runner. So we were supposed to go drive it next month, but that has not happened. So we're thinking if you're looking for the new 4Runner, it won't be until next year sometime.
Maybe early next year, yeah.
Yeah, and probably the reason for that is because, of course, Tundra has had 100,000 new engine replacements, and that's going to take Toyota a little bit of time to sort through. And Tacoma is having transmission issues. We don't know the extent of those yet. It's still early days. So I think all that has actually pushed the 4Runner back. That is a guess on my part. It could be something completely different. We don't know. We don't work for Toyota, but I think that's a fair guess.
Yeah, and as we're wrapping up, I think we covered most of the questions here. As we wrap up, I don't want Rem to know this.
Okay.
Roman?
Yeah.
But please, I hope nobody at Rem is watching.
Okay.
But I did a little burnout in this truck.
You did a burnout. Tell me about it. What do you mean you did a burnout?
Well, I wanted to see, a lot of newer vehicles have a lot of nannies.
Yeah.
Nannies that kill fun, basically.
Uh-huh.
I pushed the button and I disabled traction control in this truck, and I goosed it for a couple seconds, and both tires started, woo. So this truck has a lot of torque.
So too high, disable the traction control.
Bam. It will burn rubber until the cows come home.
I love that. That's so cool.
Well, which is what the Ram is about, right?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. So fill it up with hay and burn a little bit of rubber when you have the truck. All right, Andre. I think that's all for today. We're going to be back tomorrow.
There's one more super chat from the same person. Thank you, Taker.
Who's doing this? Who's
Taker 610.
Taker, you're the best dude.
Yeah,
Thank you very
thanks.
much. We're coming back again live tomorrow, probably same time. What are we bringing them tomorrow, Andre?
Oh, we have something pretty cool. We have a new Lexus GX 550 Overtrail Edition, the off-road version. That's coming tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that's the one to get now. There was kind of a question about whether you should go GX or you should get Land Cruiser, and it seems like the market has spoken, and the GX is the one that people are choosing if they can get their hands on one. But that's coming tomorrow for another live video. Guys, thank you very much for joining us. Cole, thank you very much for being behind the camera. Andre, thank you for making me a bro. I really appreciate it.
And Taker, whenever the Ram Charger comes out, which is the electric range extender, we will, of course, road trip it. Trust us. We're going to be one of the first people to road trip it.
You want to give them the news about the Maverick? Tell them what we did with the Maverick. Why don't you break that news?
Breaking news! We're finishing the video already.
We did?
Okay. Breaking news! TFL is going to buy a 2025 Maverick.
Because
it's awesome.
No, because you can get it. Here, hold on. This is important, all right? And we're going to do a video on this, but we'll tell you right now. So we bought it because you can get all-wheel drive with the hybrid.
Yes.
So we were configuring it. We're figuring out what color to get. We won't tell you that. That'll be a surprise. but we hit a snag, and it's a big snag, and it's really disappointing. You want to tell them what that snag is, because people have been asking about this. You cannot get, you want to tell them?
You cannot get an FX4 off-road edition of the Maverick or a Tremor
with the hybrid
edition with a hybrid all-wheel
all-wheel
drive. You can get it only with a gasoline-powered turbo, but not a hybrid. And the hybrid value is economy, right? Efficiency. But you can get more towing. You can get all-wheel drive with a hybrid, and that's.
But why can't you get the off-road package with the hybrid? What is it? Is Ford holding that back for the next generation? So I was super disappointed because basically you can get the all-wheel drive, you can get the hybrid, but you really can't go off-road with it because you can't get, let me show you, you can't get the FX package, which means you can't get things like recovery points, which are very important, or skid plates.
Or an aggressive tire.
Or an aggressive tire.
I'm in the camp, I'm not too worried.
What do you guys think? I think it's complete and utter, you know what, because we've been living through this incredible momentum of off-road lifestyle vehicles, right? And we're going to the Overland Expo pretty soon. And yet, the most interesting truck, I dare say, the most unique truck in the last 10 years, at least internal combustion engine, the Maverick, you can't make off-road worthy with the hybrid. So once again, it's like you have to choose. You know, do you want to go off-road or do you want fuel economy? Why? Why are we making people choose?
I think when the FX4 is not a dramatic package, the FX4 doesn't give you any more ground clearance. It may give you a couple of skid plates and a tire and tow points, yes. Tremor is a whole different story, but I'm not going to be rock crawling on my Maverick Tremor either. So I'm not super bummed, but let us know.
So Carlos says, I agree, it's BS. Maverick Hybrid isn't using the same trim packages. It's the same truck underpinning. I agree. See, that's the problem. He just summed it up in a nutshell. And I would pay extra for that. So now basically Ford is making less money because we didn't opt for the FX package because we couldn't. So why is the company doing that? I would gladly pay more because the problem is if it comes from the factory, not only is it warranted, but it's cheaper than if I have to go to my local Joe's off-road shop to have all that stuff added onto it, which we're going to have to do, I think.
Let us know. But we are buying one.
So Wayne Wallace says, rock crawling a unibody. Have you heard of the Jeep Grand Cherokee? Wayne.
The Grand Cherokee has always been a unibody.
Yes.
But Grand Cherokee has always had good ground clearance and approach and departure angles. And the Maverick does not have a good departure angle at all.
JJR says, then get a real truck. You mean like this? Is this a real truck?
Yes!
All right, guys. Really appreciate you spending the time. And sorry I threw a little bit of a fox in with the chickens, but it was upsetting. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.
Thanks.